Hello and welcome everyone to match 3 of the Fighter Jet Frenzy tournament. In this one we will be watching the Windrammer by the Jimmer, 3 of these APS armed and simple weapon armed aircraft, take on the Il Vento d'Oro by Lyon Johnsson and Arthr. And this is what I wouldn't so much consider a plane as somewhere halfway between a nice creative design and a physics abomination. You'll see what it does in a second. Its behavior is perhaps not special, but it's just it could have done with some decorations, I think. Anyway, without much further ado, let's watch this from the perspective of the Windrammers and get the battle going. So they have the blast guns, don't know exactly what they're called, and they're being fired upon by the main gun of the Il Vento d'Oro, which is a kinetic gun, I believe. It's APS, and all the Vento ever does is run away. Now, Il Vento d'Oro is the name, that is a mashup of Italian and Latin, meaning golden wind. Kind of interesting that that would be taking on an entry called the Windrammer. I think they have no hope of ever ramming the Vento, but we'll see. Oh, that was a bounce. Nice. Oh, that looked bad. Let's... Yeah, it's AI dead. Let's go back to these and let's check the Vento. It hasn't taken damage yet. It's very fast, and those blast gun projectiles, well, either they can't make it, or it's just the inaccuracy and low AP value that means they do no damage to the few bits that are exposed. But there's actually a section of the Vento that is all light blocks, so that's the front portion to which the control surfaces are also attached, and then the rest is ducts. I think triangle corners and applique slopes, if I'm remembering correctly. And this Windrammer is now out of control. I think it's going to either crash into the terrain or get disqualified for the distance it's at. I think that's the most likely. And then that leaves just this one. I haven't seen the main APS gun fire in quite some time. I'll check next round if it's working properly. Oh, the Vento actually took a bit of damage. I wonder what got hit. Oh no, that's actually the APS gun. This one's not doing so well. And disqualified. That leaves only one Windrammer to take on the Vento. Let's see what this looks like from the Vento's perspective, if the camera can keep up. The Vento, I think, has a top speed of something like 200 meters a second, a little above that actually. It's the fastest vehicle in the tournament. So that's bad news for anyone trying to ram it. And I think... oh, yeah. The last wind rammer is well and truly out of control. And is getting itself disqualified. There we go. Alright, round 1 goes to the Il Vento d'Oro, which, yeah, took basically no damage doing that. Let's set up the next round. And see if it can repeat that performance. I think the wind rammers might have a chance if they manage to hit the control surfaces in the front, and with their very inaccurate blast guns, the revolving gun or whatever it's called nowadays, they might just be able to do that. But I think they have to get a little closer to do that. I don't know what kind of distance the Vento tries to maintain, but it seems to be more than the range at which the blast guns are effective. So it's really just the APS, like that, that can damage the Vento. And these two wind rammers decided to go do their own thing? I'm not sure what happened there. Only one of them still really chasing the Vento. Maybe they got stuck on each other there. But in that time it took them to get back, this one was shot down. It's starting to look like we'll get a similar result to the last round. Oh, that does not look good. It seems like it's trying to get back. Or maybe not. I'm not sure what this one's doing. I think it's lost control to some extent. This one's still doing mostly fine. Oh no, both wind rammers are giving chase again. Maybe there's something weird going on with their breadboards. I know they're breadboard controlled, so maybe the Jimmer programmed them in such a way that they occasionally do something other than chasing, but they end up getting back to it. Could also be due to the damage, because, well, there definitely is some damage. I think this one... it's not AI dead, but it's going to get disqualified for distance if it stays there. So if the Vento doesn't fly back to it and just focuses on this one, it will win this round fairly handily. That was the disqualification. And then let's see what happens to this one. Those are some really nasty shells. Kind of surprising that this wind rammer is still going. It's taken like, yeah, it's taken 10% damage, and it's still flying just fine. Difficult to see what the damage actually is without pausing, but anyway, that's time. So this round also goes to Il Vento d'Oro. As I also did with the first battle, I will run the last round, but we already have a winner. So if you found the first 2 rounds a bit uninteresting, which I can imagine, you can stop watching here. But I would like to see if maybe, just maybe, we can get a more interesting result. So far the wind rammers are hanging in there. But Il Vento d'Oro is very tough. I wonder how it would do against certain other entries. There are some entries that have EMP weapons on them. And I know that Vento does not really have anything to defend against that. But against the wind rammers, it's quite well defended. Yeah, this one's also out. If it keeps heading that way, it will disqualify itself. There we go. And then this last wind rammer. I mean, the Il Vento d'Oro could just fly away and win the match now. We'll see what it does. Oh. Lost track of it for a moment there. Ooh, that did not look good. That could be the end. Yeah, that is the end. Alright, so round 3, much like rounds 1 and 2, is a decisive victory for Il Vento d'Oro. So this creation of Arthr and Lyon Johnsson will move on to its next match in the primary bracket, while the Wind Rammers by the Jimmer will move down to the secondary bracket for another chance. So I'll see you in the next battle.